Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, partners, clients and fans, the year 2018 comes to a closing, and I want to quickly take a look back at what happened this year, because it was, after 16 years that gannaca exists, maybe the most exciting one so far. We've been active on a truly global spectrum. Started the year in Boston, America, and are going to finish next week in Belgrade. And I want to quickly give you an overview about the things that we have worked on with our truly beautiful clients. There was the energy industry, one of the slowest maybe because of their very long-lasting investment cycles. Companies that are used to calculate on a 30, 50, maybe 70 years base, that are now faced with the challenge of digital transformation. And together with our partner Pro Energy, we have educated them, we have trained them in entrepreneurship methods and culture. And that was tremendously interesting, because we could once again see how curious and ready the talent, the resourceful humans that work with these corporations actually are. They are already. Then the finance industry, another one that is heavily impacted by the digital modern, and that has woken up without a doubt. They requested many different things from gannaca Global Think Tank Group this year. Most exciting topics maybe were voice commerce, everything smart home, smart city, smart car, and of course AI, because we are living in the AI age now, and you either get your head around that now or never, because others are going to do your business for you if you don't. The automotive industry in Germany has become an important client, mainly the so-called hidden champions, which is pretty much a German specialty. Medium-sized businesses that have specialized in something to a degree that is truly mind-blowing. Little bits and pieces of that complex product that they do in the most perfect way and have been doing so for maybe decades. And all of a sudden there comes this disruption into play of new mobility that is running along new engine concepts, such as the electric engine or hydrogen. And of course, on the other hand, data. I remember a specific conversation with the leader of a very well-renowned research institute who was trained as an economist, and due to that he had the hardest time to evaluate what kind of company, for instance, Tesla actually is. Because yes, the number of their output in cars is still low, and that leads to the false assumption that this company might not actually be a serious competitor to the giants in that field, like Volkswagen or Mercedes. And I disagree, because I can see how quickly they ramp up their production capacities. But that's not the most interesting thing. The most interesting thing with them is that they aren't a car manufacturer. They are a data company. And they strive for that objective to know everything about mobility, know everything about the needs of people and companies to move goods, whether they are boxes or people, from one place to the other. And that is a game changer. And you cannot measure that with the traditional economic drawers and categories. You have to rethink everything that you've learned at school or university. Then municipalities tapped into our potential and our network. And we, for instance, were asked to support think tanks and labs for municipalities that stand up for their responsibility to make sure that the democracy that they rely upon maintains to work in a positive way. We met people who are designing and building educational concepts and facilities that help citizens to understand what the social media sphere means for their understanding of what is true and what is fake, for instance. Tremendously interesting jobs, very deep thinking about the importance of not just changing a business model, but changing the way we work together and we live together as human beings. A recent project that excites me truly is the development of an international innovation conference that we are part of for another German group of clients, actually, a combination of university, municipality and bank. And I can say so much. The title of that conference is going to be the Human Conference. And we are proud that we were invited to suggest that title. And this conference is going to ask the question, what kind of technology do we actually want to use, and in what ways, and especially not want to use. So, for instance, technologies that erode the fundament that we all live by and have so massively benefited from, should maybe not be used. And this is going to be a very, very interesting discussion. Innovation strategy for new pharma. Another interesting topic with a client from Canada. Something that will continue to keep us busy next year. Medical cannabis, the new old aspirin for the world. People striving to help build a painless world for a global population of almost 10 billion people. That is, wow, big. And we're again proud to be a part of that. We've also worked with art institutions, curated, focused on AI and arts and culture. That's maybe the one and only crystal ball that I am aware of, because for a too long time, I guess, the art industry, and that word tells it all already, has been economized mainly, and that potential to foresee future developments in contemporary art especially has been undervalued, and maybe that's about to change as well, which is something that we embrace quite heavily. Looking at gannaca Global Think Tank Group, we have clearly seen a strong impact by the rise of Asia. We've opened up ourselves to the Korean market. You can now read our website, for instance, in Korean. And the next step that we are about to take is to do the same for the Chinese-speaking population and ecosystem. So by the first half of next year, welcome all you people speaking Chinese and thinking in Chinese to our products and services. Please be our guest. We've traveled the world. We've worked and had fun in Seoul, quite obviously, but also Africa, the continent that I perceive as most promising when we look at the next 10 to 20 years. Cape Town is our base there, and our partner Johannes is doing everything he can to bring innovation and change culture to the local ecosystems. Alexander in Auckland, hello to you too. You've done a tremendous job in the Asia Pacific corner of the world, and of course not forget all the interesting conversations and negotiations that take place in Estonia, Tallinn. We've been there a couple of times. We've brought delegations to Estonia, one of the D7 states in the world, the most digitally advanced countries on the planet. Maybe the most perfect example of a government understanding the digital challenge and striving for an entirely new concept of what it means to be a nation state. We have again cooperated with our friends in Sweden at Media Evolution City for the conference, and our strategic partner, the Hus Institute from Vaduz in Liechtenstein, in the form of a pop-up art exhibition in Malmö last September, where we tried to make more meaning out of that innovation conference for its participants and our friends and new friends, because it's a lot of stuff that we all have to cope with, right? The speed of change, the complexity of change is ever increasing, and it's just becoming ever quicker and more complex next year and the year after. So we really have to find new ways to cope with that. Otherwise, it's not only going to be climate change that runs away, but also the Internet of Things world and the data business. It's gonna eat us up as humans if we don't find ways to cooperate on a better level, because the knowledge is there, the capacity is there, but the borders are there as well, the silos and the hierarchies and the elbows, and still too much of a very male-driven, competitive mindset. Still too many people who aim for the one and only successor, who still aim for the one and only winner who owns the market. A bad idea. We should walk together, because only then you can walk far. If you want to go alone and quick, that's not get you anywhere any longer. C-level coachings, the production of labs internally, lectures that I still prefer to give myself, participation in talks, the design and realization of strategies on innovation and change culture. That is what we stand for. and will keep to stand for. And I heartily invite each and every one of you who is interested in a better quality of life for yourselves, for your team colleagues, for your companies, for your organizations, for your fellas, and at the end of the day, for everyone involved in what we call this life that we live. If you like, talk to us. We're there, and we're becoming more, and we're easy to access, we're easy to talk to. If you feel that what you are working on is serious and not a marketing fig leaf, we are happy to walk a part of the path together. If you feel a lot of respect for resourceful humans, people with creative minds who are open for collaboration, welcome to our tribe, and vice versa. I've personally decided 5 years ago to dismiss of all bullshit and all assholes that are also out there in this world, and I can only recommend to each and every one of you to do the same. Your productivity levels will shoot through the roof. Your personal satisfaction with what you do is going to explode. You'll come home at the end of the day and look into the mirror, and you'll feel more content and happy and meaningful. And that is what this year has been. A happy year, a meaningful year, and thereby a successful year. And I wish for us and every one of you to have more of that next year. And we love you. Goodbye for now.